Okay, so let me start. I know we have a show on this station. It's called Closure.
Yes.
And it can give you confusion because you think that everyone's story will always be that one. It's not always the case. Some stories just should not be touched. Those are gates you should close because they were the gates of hell and they should remain closed until the day of our Lord.
That show is actually a depiction of this topic because some of them are very nice when they reconcile, and some of them are tragic, some of them fight, some of them have residual feelings and they came for war, some of them are still in love and they want to get back together. So what does closure mean to you?
I feel like when I was younger, when I was a lot younger, I would do that thing where if someone has dumped me, and I have been dumped before, don't let these looks confuse you, you would kind of like go in your mind and almost relive every single moment of that relationship. And somehow it would always look like you were the bad person. Like you would villainize yourself and give absolute adoration and accolades and just like you amplify what this person was. The little small things that they did for you, you kind of make them go out into almost an exaltation of this person, and yet you completely villainize yourself. So it was always a thing where I would try and like get in contact with the person so that I can try and like, you know, I'm like, oh, I know I was horrible and but can you give me another chance so that I can be able to sort this out? And I did that. I've actually done, well, one relationship, I really was the villain. I'm not going to lie. I'm so sorry, Albert. Boy. I was really the villain in that relationship. Like, I was bad to that guy. And I didn't even notice it until he pointed it out. And he pointed out so many other things that I'd done. And I'm just like, wow, I was horrible. And I'm not that person. So we end up dating again just so I can, you know, rectify. It sounds weird, right? But yeah, that's what closure was for me when I was younger. Now I'm a whole different person.
Ooh, I don't need closure. I don't want to see you because sometimes closure opens doors that you wanted closed, you know. Somebody, you broke up for a reason. There's a reason you're no longer together. So all this reaching out post-breakup because you want closure, I feel like it's usually just
a segue into,
like you're trying to get into another chapter, or it could lead to something new, or maybe this person cheated on you, so why do you want me to see you again? It just brings back all these other memories, and now I am mad at you, you know. And sometimes this happens when you're healing, you know. You've not talked to this person for a hot minute. It's been 3 months since you broke up. He cheated on you. That's it. You've done your crying. You're now walking Karura every day. You know, you're going for hikes. Because that's the thing with breakups, yeah? You try to reinvent yourself, find a new you. So you're doing well. You've finally posted your first picture on Instagram after 3 months. And then this guy reaches out, hey, looking good. I didn't like how we ended things. Can we meet for coffee and talk? Talk about what? It's just you trying to reopen wounds and try to find a way back into my life to repeat the same cycle that you were doing. Yeah,
and sometimes when it's you looking for closure, it's usually a way of trying to make yourself feel better. It's like self-soothing, but then seeking that out of someone else. Now, the problem with either situations, especially when you're the one seeking closure, is that sometimes you try and contact your ex, and unfortunately, like, the answers they give you just are more questions, you know? It's like they tell you something and it's a whole other thing. Now you're like, wait, what do you mean? Huh? Can you explain that? And then you just become even more confused. Sometimes simply a person refusing to talk to you is pretty much the only answer that you need. Yes. And had I known that when I was younger, many things about my life would have changed.
Exactly. And another thing about closure, before you go to meet somebody for closure, please realize that there's a chance that you guys are going to end up tumbling in bed together. Because let's be honest, at some point you loved each other. He was the rock and your foundation. He was the simiti holding you down. And then for whatever reason you broke up. Trust me, these feelings are going to be triggered once you guys meet again. You're going to see, your brain has this thing where it's going to erase all the bad things about this person, and you're going to try and look for the good, and then you're going to end up in bed together. And the next morning you're waking up and maybe he's done the same thing that made you break up. You find the socks the same place, you know, he left the socks on the floor, and you're like, damn, what did I do? So always be aware. There's a chance. You might be strong, iron woman, but once you see him, the iron males, oh, iron lady. Once you see him, the gates open, and that's it. So be on the lookout for that.
Another thing to always remember is that it could extend your pain. Okay, you meet this person, and have you ever noticed, like, when you're meeting your ex, you always try and look your best?
Yep.
Like, you will have your bad B energy, you will have your bad boy
Let
energy.
him see what he lost.
You're like, yes, he better start to recognize, you know. And unfortunately, sometimes maybe you were just there for honesty. You wanted to be there for honesty, and then you show up looking all raggedy, and then you see them and they look so good, and now you're just in more pain. You're like, maybe, you know, have you ever noticed when you see someone who's wronged you, it just kind of makes you feel worse. You're in more pain than you should have been to begin with. Even especially when you're hoping for one response and then you get completely the opposite of what you were hoping for.
True, their truth.
Their
Exactly.
truth can be
'Cause their
very
truth
painful.
will be different from your truth, you
Yep.
know. Your version of events and how things played out is completely different
Yep.
from how things happened on their end. So now you're going to them and you're saying, listen, this and this and this happened. I broke up with you because of this and this and this. And they're like, hold on, wait a minute. I felt like this and this and this was happening. And it's contradicting stories. And now you've met each other, you're just mad. You're angry. Both of you are angry. You're like, why did we even come here? We were healing. So it's not worth it.
Another thing you need to always remember is, like, moving on shouldn't be based off of a condition. That's like saying you're in pain, you've gone to hospital, but you will only take medication if the doctor gives you a sweet or gives you a hug. That's stupid. You're sick. Get medication, take your medication, heal. Moving on is practically the same way. You are in pain. You're supposed to get out of that pain, regardless of, if only he told me that he need. Imagine I would be okay right now. Nope, that's not how that works. That's not the reality of things. Your moving on should be your incentive and your initiative because it is good for you. It doesn't matter what the other person, even if they don't move on, that's a them problem. Your prerogative is to take care of you first. You don't want to start moving into other relationships with baggage, you know? You're over there now dragging your garbage from one place, taking it to the other place, making the other person pay for the mistakes of the other person who you just let. It's honey, don't give yourself conditions.
True.
Man or woman. If you're broken up with someone,
And
heal.
also, it's not a one-time event. It's not like you're going to meet for coffee and you have your closure and you move on. No, once you've met, that's it. You're opening a door to so many more occasions.
Yep.
It's going to be, okay, we had a nice chat yesterday. Can we meet tomorrow for lunch? Okay, lunch was great. Can I take you out to dinner? You know, you start seeing the good in them and you forget all the bad, horrible things that had happened.
Yeah.
Because now you're thinking, maybe we have a chance. Maybe if we try again and put in more effort, it's going to work. For some people, it does.
Yep.
For others, it really does not. Because this person was like, first of all, you will not dump me. Have you not seen Ray J? Ray J, his wife filed for divorce and they had separated. And then he was like, let's meet, you know, let's talk about this. And he started going out for dinner. And then he convinced her somehow, drop the divorce, whatever. I want us to get back together. I want us to be a family. And then once they were back together, this man filed for divorce and said irreconcilable
irreconcilable
yes, differences. And then his excuse to the girl was, I am not deserving of you. Whole time it was just because he did not want to be the one who was divorced. He wanted to be the one to do the divorcing. So sometimes people are doing things out of spite and you're thinking it's a genuine emotion. So be very careful. It will not be a one-time event.
Yeah.
If you open that door, that's it. They have access to you once more. They can do what, and even sometimes even checking if they have access to you. They're like, this girl has not talked to me in 3 months. Probably laughing with their friends. They're like, okay, let me show you. If I text her right now that I want closure, she's going to respond. And does that, and you respond because you have feelings. So be careful.
Please be careful. Yes, exactly what she said. I think that's the best way to wrap it up. Look, if you're going out there looking for closure, expect that many different scenarios can play out.
True.
And often the scenario that you want it to be isn't usually what it is. So if you can, figure it out on your own. If you can't, find help from a professional, not your ex. There is nothing your ex is going to tell you that will give you any peace of mind or otherwise. So seek help from professionals or figure it out, or from a church or your religious leaders, whoever it is. Yeah, do what is best for you.
True.